Friends, ever tried naming something in Java and bam, you got an error? Oops, looks like Java doesn't like your variable name. So don't worry, Java has rules for naming things, and today we will be cracking the code on identifiers. Today I will be telling you in Java that what are identifiers, how to use them, and basically what's the purpose to use Java identifiers. And we will be also seeing what are identifiers names for variables, methods and classes. So just you have to follow the rules and Java will love you. So stick around because I'm going to break it down Java style. You have to hit a like to this video. If you're new on this channel, want to see more videos like this, so remember to subscribe, and after subscribing hit notification bell so you can get the notifications of all my coming up videos which I'll be uploading on this channel. So now what we are waiting for, let's move to computer screen and let's get dive into it. So now here we on the computer screen, and like I've told you in the start that today in this video I will be telling you about what are identifiers in Java. We will be understanding all the things about identifiers which a beginner should know if they are starting with this topic in Java. So if we talk about identifiers, so basically all the Java variables must be identified with unique names. And what are these unique names? So these unique names are called identifiers, and we use all these unique names in Java only, or you can say in Java variables only. So identifiers can be short names like X and Y, or more descriptive names age, sum, total, volume. So this is really important thing which you need to notice here. Like when you are working with identifiers, so identifiers can be the short name like X and Y variable. It can be more descriptive like age, sum or total volume. Note, it is recommended to use descriptive names in order to create an understandable and maintainable code. So this is really you can say this is a really important thing where it is written, like which is written here in the note. It is saying me that it is recommended to use descriptive names in order to create understandable and maintainable code. If you want to create one understandable and maintainable code, so for that you need to use descriptive names. And what are these descriptive names? Like we have added here age, sum and total volume. These are the three descriptive names which we can use here. So I hope you understand how we are doing it. And now we need to understand the example. So in first example, I have written init minutes per hour equal to 60. So this is the value which I have done here. Then I have added okay, but not so easy to understand what actually is. This is the comment which I have written, like it is okay, but it is not so much easy to understand. So that's why I have written one integer value in which I have written the value as 60. So now the per minute I have written here init minutes per hour, and in 1 hour you get 60 minutes. So that's why I have written 60 here after equal to, and then I will be printing it by using init m variable, and in m I have written the value as 60. Now the general rules written here is like the general rules for naming variables are names can contain letters, digits, underscore and dollar signs. Name must begins with a letter. Name should start with a lowercase letter and cannot contain white space. Names can also begin with dollar and underscore. Names are case sensitive. My var and my var are different variables. Means in capital my var, when you are writing here with capital V, it is a different thing, and when you are writing it in small, it is also a different thing. Not same thing as you are writing all the alphabet same, so it will be not same as we are writing this V capital, and here we are writing V as small. And now reserved word like Java keywords such as init or boolean cannot be used as names, and that's really important thing, because normally when we use these Java keywords like init or boolean or float as well, so these are the things which are being used as names, but you cannot do that because these are reserved keyword and these are Java keywords which we use as a tag, or you can say as a function. So that's why we cannot use these keywords as a name. So that's the thing here. So I hope you understand how we are working with identifiers. Like identifiers should be unique, and I will be recommending you to use descriptive names in identifiers like age, sum and total volume. And here in note as well, it is written like it is recommended to use descriptive names in order to create understandable and maintainable code, which is really simple thing here. So what I'm going to do is I will be just printing this integer, or you can just say this variable, in which I have written the value as minutes per hour, and in minutes per hour I have written the value as 60. So normally when I will be printing this thing, I should be getting the output as 60, but we have not printed this, so we should be printing using here the same thing system.out.println, which we were using in other things as well, in other previous videos as well. So what I'm going to do is I'll be removing all these things, because like I've told you in previous video about declaring multiple variables, and I hope you understand all that stuff. there. So now we will be understanding if I'm printing this value here, so why I'm printing and what output I'm getting here. So I will be moving on to my Word document again, and I will be copying this thing here, moving on to my NetBeans IDE again, and then I will be just pasting this thing again. So I have printed two things here, or you can just say I have written two things in my Java file. One is like init minutes per hour. This is the variable which I have created, in which I have written the value as 60. And then in the second thing I have written init m, and m is another variable which I have created, in which I have written the value again as 60, and that's the way to use. So I hope you understand how we are doing it and how we are just like we are getting the output. So that's the way to do. And now what I'm going to do is I will be just running this file here. So I should be getting like what thing I'm getting in my output, I should be running here like this. So I will be pressing just right click here, and I will be pressing run file. After running, you can just see we are not getting anything. Like we are getting one line like in red color, and then it is saying me like equal to 60. When I'm writing all these things, I'm getting nothing in the output, means this is not working, because obviously it is not working. We have not printed this thing. So I will be again using the same thing, system, and like you all know that we were just using this thing here to print all these things. So I will be just pressing Ctrl Z here, and now this is the system out println here. So I will be just copying, or you can just say, you can just like this, you can write here, then you can just move on to your Word document again. And when I will be using this thing here like this, moving on to this file, I will be just printing it. Again, I will be moving on to my Word document. I will be copying this init m equal to 60, moving on to my NetBeans IDE, and I will be again pasting it. I will be removing these three variables which I have printed in my println tag, because I have now removed these previous three variables which I was just using in declaring variable topic. Then I will be just now writing here m like this. If I write m, and then if I just run this thing here in the output, so obviously you will be now getting the output as 60 here. You can just see we are getting 60. And why we are getting 60? Because we have declared one variable called m, and in m variable I have written the value as 60. That's why when I'm printing, I'm getting the output as 60. Now if I just add like this, minutes per hour, my first value which I have just printed, or you can say my first variable. So I will be writing minutes per hour like this, and if I add this plus sign, and with that if I add like this m. Now if I run this thing, so what output I should be getting here in my output, or you can say in my terminal. I will be pressing run file, and you can just see we are getting 120. Why we are getting 120? Because in the first variable we have written value 60, then in the second variable of m we have written the value 60 again, and when you add 60 with 60, so obviously you will be getting the answer as 120. And that's why when I'm printing these two things here by using println function, so I'm getting the output 120 printed. So I hope you understand how we are using identifiers, and you can just see one thing, like we are using different and unique names here of my variables, that is making my thing unique, and this is called identifiers. Like if you are using any variable name which is unique, if you're using any string name, any integer name as a unique thing, so that will be called as identifiers, like we were understanding in our Word document as well. Here it was written like the identifiers can be short names like x and y, but it is recommended to use descriptive names in order to create understandable and maintainable code. And this is minutes per hour is really unique name which we are using here to just to make our code understandable and maintainable. So I hope you understand how we are using Java identifier, how to use them, and basically what's the purpose to use Java identifiers. So if you have understand this video, and if you enjoyed that how we can work with Java identifiers, if you have understand this topic here, so remember to hit a like to this video. And if you're new on this channel, want to see more videos like this, so remember to subscribe, and after subscribing, hit notification bell as well, so you can get the notifications of all my coming up videos which I'll be uploading on this channel. So now I will be meeting you in next tutorial or in next project of Java in future. So for today, goodbye.